Stage just
Communities
about.
Connected
Almost
Live.
broke my leg, I swear. It wasn't like it was like a really big stage, but like I rolled my ankle and then fell into the wall. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Oh yeah. I didn't even feel it until the next day. The next day was when I was feeling it hard, Mr. Krabs. It was all after me. So how long have you been rocking this stuff? You said a month?
Actually, you know what? I was able to hear you during the intro. I didn't realize we had certain audios on.
Does it have like an opening video that you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then it'll come into us. I see what you're saying. Okay, we're live.
Yep.
We're live, boy.
We are
I'm
live.
so excited here, dude. It's been a long day, but I've been thinking about this all day. I'm not even kidding.
Well, I'm glad you were excited for it. We're gonna just keep talking a little bit for a second before we fully start it. But yeah, so you said you're looking for it all day.
Oh yeah, dude. I was just telling my boss and stuff about it. They called me lame because I just get so excited about all my stuff.
Well,
I get
right.
beyond it, honestly.
Sound check is over. My bad about that.
No worries. Sound check's over, everybody. We ready?
We are ready to start it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, Comedians Connected. We are doing episode 132, and I have a guest here taking some time off his day to join us. I'm really excited about this, man. This is Super Dad, Brandon. How do you say your last name?
What's up?
What's your last name?
Miller.
Miller. I thought it was Miller. See, I was confusing you with the other Brandon that we both talked to.
Oh yeah.
Real quick question. How do you know that Brandon?
Facebook.
Really?
Yep, I stumbled across his SoundCloud, and I just been following him, and then he's been following me, and we just, send each other like uplifting stuff every now and again.
Ooh.
And
that's a good guy to have around, man.
Yeah, man. He also did an article about me on Motivated by Music.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was pretty cool of him. And then I took and featured him on my little page, my promotions page called Dub City. And it's just kind of cool to spread love around.
Ooh. So you do the articles for Dub City?
Yes. Me and my girl guy, she does them as well.
Hang on, I'll see if I can.
Just like you, I just took a break from that for the past couple months, but I've really been heavily thinking about it, and I want to get back into it way more. But I also need to finish up this album because I'm redoing everything on it. So I just learned a lot about production and honestly got tore apart about some of my productions from some higher up people in the game, and it made me rethink about it, and I redid a lot, and it sounds way better.
Hey.
So I still got to do a couple more tracks, and then I'm going to release my album, and then I'll get back on the Dub City.
How many tracks are you having on this album?
I actually have 6 now, because it was an EP, but I'm switching over to album 6 or 8, I'm thinking.
6 or 8? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, because who knows, I might make a couple more for it. It's called Emotions, and I finally learned how to put my emotion into music, and then now that I've learned how to post-process more, it's going to be a game changer for me. I'm just beyond excited with it.
Hey, no, that's cool. So are you going to be releasing it onto SoundCloud, YouTube? Like, what platforms do you normally use? All of them?
Starting with this album, I'll be on Spotify and everything.
Solid, man. That's damn. Real quick, do you do your own art for your album covers?
No, on this one, actually, JR Graphics did the photo cover. He hooked me up with it. He's a really good art worker. He does so much. It's like a spaceship guy. alien craziness. I was not expecting it. He just sent it to me for like a present, and I was like, "Wow, dude, you're so nice, so nice."
Damn.
I got a couple things I want to say on here though. I got a huge show coming up. It's called the Catalina Bass Mixer. I don't know if you've ever watched Step Brothers, but I love the reference there. It's pretty hilarious.
Was that their boat?
No, the Catalina Wine Mixer was the whole thing, and then that was like the whole story at the end. And now there's the Catalina fucking Bass Mixer, and I get to open main stage, and Jay Phelps and Benesis and Megahertz are headlining. Man, it's gonna be a huge show.
Where's that taking place?
In Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh, there we go.
Yep, I'm pretty excited. It's at the Leland. And then I also open up main stage for Ray Volp and Uber at Electricity in Pontiac. That's October 18th.
October 18th.
That's my brother's party. I'm gonna show him a night out.
Hey, there we go. That's awesome. Man, I'm gonna need you for a birthday bash one time. I'll just be like, man, we gotta throw a good party. You seem like the guy to know.
That'd be huge. I'd absolutely love that.
Have you ever done any shows like in Wisconsin?
No, I'm dying to get out there, dude. I'm trying. That's why I'm trying to tell everybody out there, tell your promoters about me, because I want to be out there. Just want to. I've seen so much of the scene out there, and it looks gnarly. Especially up in like the Appleton area.
Mm-hmm.
They always seeing shows up there all the time.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like like being up in Appleton, up in the mountains, woods area. It's pretty dope out there. So, all right, yeah. I'll see what kind of word I can spread around here, because it'd be dope to see you come in here, get some time to hang out with you. How many states have you been around since you've started music?
I've played in Michigan. I've played in North Carolina, and that's just about it. I'm just all over Michigan and North Carolina. I played 2 times. I got booked a couple shows out of state, but it just ended up falling out or something. It's kind of lame. But I'm working on it. I've been putting out some art applications everywhere. I've been sending my music everywhere, just trying to break through the system.
No, I like how you've been doing your music. I was telling you earlier as we were talking before we hopped on that I really enjoyed how I found you. I was telling you a quick story that I was just scrolling through Facebook one day, and all of a sudden I seen some guy and talking about music, and I seen his kid next to him, so I like clicked on the video, and here you are explaining, hey, I'm just making some beats with my son. I was like, what? All right. And I just sat there. Everything started turning off PlayStation because I ignored it. I'm just watching you and your kid make music. I was like, this is dope. Started checking out your profile, and ever since that day, I was like, man, this guy's pretty cool. And now I was trying to see like Super Dad, all that stuff. I was like, man, I like that.
That's even cooler that that's the video that like brought you in, you know, with the Super Dad brand, and then like he was there. That's just cool to me. I love doing that with him. We're about to start that back up every Sunday.
Yeah, that was really unique to see, and I was glad that you were doing it. How many videos have you done like that with your son?
Well, we were doing it every Sunday for a good 2 months, so like 8. But for the longest time, for about a year, I was doing a video every Sunday, just a positive, uplifting video. And like I'd play my guitar and then say some quotes that I found throughout the week and like some uplifting kind of things, just to, you know, bring some light to someone's Sunday and maybe someone's week, and try to just give everyone that drive, you know.
Hey, no, I like that. Seeing, taking some time, trying to give to people. And that's what I like about certain artists. You know, there's a lot of people who just want to give what they're creating. And I feel like that's really important of us, you know, to give everyone the opportunity. And I love the ability to have Facebook Live because, you know, I don't have to go through anyone to go, I want to try to reach out as many people as possible. And that's kind of why I do these videos. If anyone can hear, whether it's a message from you, it's a solo video by me, if it helps you that one day, great. If it didn't help you, that's okay too. If it just made you think, even better. That's really what it is here are my thoughts, and this to me is my way to get my thoughts out.
I think that's beautiful, man. I think that is beautiful. I'm so thankful that you have that vision, because it supports my vision, and I hope my vision supports your vision at the same time, you know?
Oh man, you just taking time definitely showed, and I wasn't expecting to get the type of reaction I did when I was reaching out to you. You seemed really excited and just, yeah, let's do this. And even though at first when we were talking, our schedules weren't matching up, you still reached back out to me. He's like, hey, I still want to do that. I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. Like, I'm just glad you are the way you are. That's awesome.
I hadn't replied for a couple days, and I saw it. I was like, man, I wish I didn't do that. I hate when I leave people on the hook or whatever. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, I feel you in that. Well, we were kind of going a little bit back. You started mentioning you also play the guitar. I want to give you a quick minute or so, kind of give people a background of yourself. How would you quickly describe yourself? Because I do want to get into a little bit about what was going on scenario before Superdad.
Well, how would I describe myself? I would describe myself as someone that strives to make others happy. As weird as that may sound, I get happiness from other people being happy. Mm-hmm. I heavily hate it when people are upset with me, honestly. Like, even my enemies, like, it still bugs me a little bit. I try to look past it, obviously, but, I very empathetic. I look for the good in most people, and sometimes it, gets me screwed over a bit, but I overall think that just being genuine and passionate is what will get me through in life, and it will bring me the best people around, I've always been interested in music since I was little. As weird as it sounds, just like everything. Like, I went to a bluegrass festival with my grandparents.
Nice.
I like music, any sort of music, and my brother actually really put me on music with his guitar. He bought me my first guitar.
Is that where you started learning? Was from your brother?
Yeah. And it was something cool about him. He could play the right-handed guitar upside down because he was left-handed, so he was like Hendrix. I always looked at him like he was. And he taught me that. I think I was 9. I was 9 when he got me that guitar, and so I started learning, and I dropped that off. I stopped playing around like 17, and then picked it back up around 20. But lately, I've been playing that a lot, and I just taught myself the piano a couple months ago.
Wow.
Really.
What were some struggles in doing that?
What was what?
What were some struggles in trying to teach yourself piano? Would you say it's kind of similar to guitar? I know it's maybe a dumb thing to say, but like, how did you try to...
Yeah, learning the guitar helped me with it because you just know like music a little bit more. You know where to go. I'm still nowhere near with the piano. Okay. I'm still no close, but I'm learning a lot, and I just really want to be able to sample every last thing in my music being from me, Mm-hmm. Even though there's so many sources that you can get from, I still want to have as much like authenticity as I can.
No, that's awesome. I like that you're going
there yet. I need more equipment to like create my external instruments into my stuff, but I'm still getting there with all my music production. I feel like there's a huge road to go, so that's a deep part about me. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with where I'm at because I want to get farther and farther and farther and farther every day. That's my biggest drive, is to like try and tell people like, you can do a lot with your day. Some days I even am a lazy slob though, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm trying out of that habit myself of like letting the world crash around me and not doing anything about it. Like, you got to get up. You got to do that stuff. You have to face the world.
I'm glad you called yourself out on there. I'm saying, like, you'll slack off, because that's something I'll do a lot on this channel. I feel like I'm preaching to people, which is not the case. I want to do this channel. Like, when I do my solo videos, I'm like, man, this needs to be done. Got to think about this way, and I always take a step and go, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm more telling myself. But I'm telling myself in an outspoken way, because if it's a reminder that I need, more than likely there's 2, 3, probably more people need to hear it. And let's just influence each other. Let's tell ourselves, be honest. And there's some times where I'll do certain videos and I'll come on, I'm like, yeah, I was slacking, guys. I wanted to be doing this stuff, so just took a break. It's all right. Just take breaks for yourself, but buckle down to what you want to do, If you want something, you obviously have to work for it.
Exactly, dude.
And that's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from you is you're definitely a person who is willing to work for it.
Yeah, but you have to, man. I feel like if you're not doing something to help yourself or your brand or whatever, you're falling back. Like every day that I don't do something music wise or at least help my brand, it drives me crazy. Like when I'm not working, I'm going crazy. Like I'll even get like down and depressed. Like seriously, like I just went through that when I went down south to visit my grandpa. Like because I wasn't doing anything for like 2-3 weeks. Like I did a few things, but it still wasn't like enough, and it was killing me.
Yeah, you
So I
get
feel
to
like
this type of grind, and all of a sudden you're just like, I could be doing more, man.
yeah, exactly, and like that's how you can push forward in life too. I need to always speak the advice that I want to hear as well. You know?
Exactly. And I'm glad I can preach out that advice, and I have my friends who hold me accountable to that advice. That's what I'd say I'm truly gifted on is my friends and family who, when I say certain things, they hold me accountable, but in a positive way. When they critique me, yeah, it sometimes seems harsh, but it's like, hey, you're the one saying this. Here's your reminder. I'm like, you're right. You're right.
Exactly. And like with the videos, they can legitimately pull it off and show you.
That's the worst part because there's been so many things I said originally, even when we started with my other friend who I had a co-host. We said one of our challenges was learn a whole new language. I ended up choosing Portuguese. I learned some numbers, learned a few phrases, but I never really kept going. I will, guys, somehow, some way. Actually, one of my coworkers spoke Portuguese, and she started speaking to me everything at work, and I was trying to pay attention. I kind of did, so I held myself sort of accountable. I was doing audios while I was at work, just listening to Portuguese stuff, like, how am I going to do this? But it's just certain things we do and to me, it was a fun activity to be doing. It's like a challenge. So I'm glad I said those things. If I didn't, I wouldn't have even taken the steps to try to learn Portuguese.
Yeah, and now you gotta completely follow through and
Exactly. I got a few phrases. I even got a friend. I was telling you, my friend Gonzalo, who fights, reason I started this channel. He knows Portuguese now because through jiu-jitsu, it's more of a known language, and he understands it. It's kind of crazy. So that's why I chose it. I was like, man, I have people who will help me, but I slacked. So that's on me. All right. A little bit back into about you, though. Around 19, you stopped messing around with guitar. Is that when you started picking up equipment for a DJ, or what were you doing in between then?
I was honestly I started raving when I was like 16, and then about a year into that, I stopped doing the guitar a lot. Honestly, I don't know why, to be honest, but I just did. I didn't really buy much equipment until the past year. To be real with you, for the first year and a half, I was doing everything from my laptop and headphones, and then now I've got Ableton, and I've got my Atom Audio, and all that. And, I mean, this is like just a little mixer, but still.
Oh, I think you turned off the camera.
Oh, lame. Did you see anything, or did it?
Oh, there it is.
All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, I got my new Atom Audios just the past year. Audio Technicians, these things just crazy. Absolutely way better actually the setup. And I'll tell everyone out here, if you take and make space physically for your dreams, then they will become way more of a reality because you are creating a space for you to see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Just like your green screen right there and stuff like that. I bet if you walk by that room, then you're like thinking about it.
Yep. And that's kind of what I wanted to do right away. As soon as we started talking about the channel, it's like, all right, we need to set up a room. And that was the main thing is I know if I have something where I see it, you're forced more to keep doing it. And it was same thing. My friend really wanted me to do jiu-jitsu. I started joining it. As soon as he found the word that I joined it, he's given me like the clothes and attire I'm going to need to be in practice. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let his money and time go to waste. And so now I go with him, train with him, and he's an excellent teacher. So there's a lot of benefits to those things. And again, it's just I'm blessed to have those people to hold me in a positive, accountable way. But yeah, you have to be able to see it, and like you were saying, invest in yourself.
Exactly.
And actually, you had a post about that, didn't you? About the other day about investing in yourself.
Yeah, man, you always got to invest in yourself, like down to clothing and stuff like that. That's a big thing that's helped me is my merchandise. It gets your name around. It really does. Give out free stickers. Give out free pins. I don't know. Just people love free stuff. They love it, and they will cherish it forever. And if you find a way to give it to them and make it special, especially, then that's a brand. You got to develop a brand in order to do anything with business. I feel like if you want it to actually help you with your income, then that's what you're gonna have to do in the end. Like a lot of musicians, they don't. I probably will never sell my music. I'll probably always give it away for free, and then just try and make that money from my merchandise instead.
Right. I like that idea, man. I'm glad you're willing to. We were talking a little about this before. Is giving so much, and I'm glad that you have the mentality. It's like I want to give as much as I can because you see the receiving end comes from giving. That's the kind of receiving you want, you know. Man, you are dope. Well, all right. Because you're talking about merchandise, you're talking about a little business. I'm really, really interested to hear from you on that whole business aspect because I was blown away as I was creeping on your Super Dad page. I was telling you, I saw you created that page in April, and all of a sudden, 4 months later into August, you're hosting a show. How do you just, I guess how do you build that courage to jump in and host a show?
Okay, so when I first started going to shows, I loved it. It just was like a vacation from reality when I just was going and listening to the music and vibing out, and I was like, I want to do that. I really want to do that. And so I went up to this hookah bar and asked them if they needed a DJ, and they happened to have a form for me to fill out. And I filled it out and got this residency at a hookah bar. And I was doing that, and then that's when I created the page. And I didn't even know about creating like event pages from that very much so at that point either. Like I jumped into this not really knowing anything,
Right.
And yeah, I got that, and that's really how I started. So I started booking DJs, and then, we'd only have 2 people show up. Like, I was doing it every week, and maybe, I think the most I ever made from it was, $20. And I'd even make it because I gave it to the other DJs.
Gotcha.
I might get, $5 or something, you know what I mean? Straight up, never really making money, but, it really was the turning point for me. I'll be completely honest, because at that point they were eternally grateful, just like I was grateful to have the spot. They were even more grateful that I was reaching out to them for them to come play.
Right.
And then I got to meet all these people from doing that and just build connections while showing my music to all these people, and curating it. And then I got booked my shows out at the Works and stuff. And funny story, actually, our first show that we tried to play at the Works, our controller wouldn't work, and we were terrified to use the CDJs. So I ended up having to give my set away because I had no clue what to do. And then that was the point that we learned how to spin on CDJs, and we did not let fear ever ruin anything, and pushed on, and now I'm playing on them almost every weekend, Damn. But I still have a controller at home because CDJs are thousands of dollars.
Wow. Dude, okay, so you've overcome quite a few obstacles, and almost right away from the get-go, you've kept the mentality of you got stumped by it, but you're finding that way to get around it. Because, again, I'm just blown away. It took me a while to reach out just for an interview and to know that you've started your page and you started just reaching out to places like, hey, do you guys need a DJ? And then go from getting that book for yourself and going I could create something out of here. That's crazy, man.
And granted, it never really ever blew up. I'd say we might have max had like one show with like 60 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, max like crazy. Like, oh my God, there's that many people here. One time there was a line out the door, and I was like, no way, dude. And it's just crazy to think about those moments, like back then, how much they'd mean now, and you wouldn't even realize how much that one person in that room, though, that one person rocks with you hard forever because you were there and you made their whole life. You know, and that's why I've always given my all, or even if it's an empty room, I'm giving my all, because you don't know who's watching, you don't know who actually might be listening to your stuff, just like you said. Exactly like you said, I think it was before we started talking, that you stopped this video for like a month, and then someone at the store was like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, well, all right, well, I'll be back on it, because I had no idea people watch.
Even if you don't think people are noticing, people are watching. People are watching you, especially with how internet works now. Internet is crazy.
That's not a lie, dude. The amount of like context I've made through this, just the amount of stuff I've even learned. If I wasn't, and again, it is your point that you're saying. A lot of things I feel that you're saying is just take that shot. And if it wasn't for me jumping into trying to do a podcast, I'm like, I don't even know what a podcast is. How do you define it? Now, how do I define my podcast? But it went from me not knowing what I'm doing. Next thing you know, I told you we ended up making this green screen. A friend and I ended up building the frame, had my wife sew up the back, and trying to tell myself how to video edit. To me, this is one of the hardest things because it's like I've never even thought about video editing. And to go from... If you ever watch my old videos, you're going to see we use this, actually, we had a projector screen, flipped it around, got the black side of it, stretched it out, and that's what we use as background, just a black background. And it looks like plastic bag.
I'm going right now. You see this? I got the Pistons.
But yeah, to go from doing just that to this, it's like, it was a positive move. There's certain things that you want to be motivated to do, and as you work on yourself and keep doing things for you, you're like, wow, I've gotten so far, and then you don't want to stop.
Yeah, exactly. I can never stop this. I can never stop this for myself alone, and then on top of that, all the people that would be disappointed in me for giving up. Oof. Mm-hmm. And there's never really any failing with it. It's only just giving up. I mean, realistically.
Exactly. That is actually something I
never even think this far. But, you know, honestly, I thought, like, it'd be like, oh, I blew up. Like, I thought it was that at first, and then now I'm like, yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on this, but it's so worth it. I never think I'd do this much, even still.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just hearing your first stories about how you started, I didn't think I'd get these kind of stories. Yeah. This is why I like learning with the community. And
you could call me off guard before, because I completely forgot about how you mentioned that I created the page as Crowd Control and then switched to Superdad. Yeah. But Crowd Control, I found out, was already a name taken from someone in Michigan. It had a lot more traction. I don't know if he had the copyright, but still, that just seemed wrong to me. So now I always got made fun of about how anal I am about my kids and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm very, very picky on how things are done. I just like them being done my way and them being taken care of, you know? Right. So I got joked on and called Superdad. And then I rocked with it. I was like, that's my DJ name.
Dude, no, that's a dope name. I like that. And actually, if you watch my podcast, I have a super Mexican thing. As a kid, I've always wanted just to create my own thing, and I used to have the Superman shirt I always wore, and one I just put Mexican. So I went from liking you and your kid playing music, then I saw Superdad, and I was like, dude, this guy, awesome. I love the name from the get-go, just everything about it. From the very moment I saw that first video, I was like, this guy's cool. And I never thought I'd be talking with you, and even yet...
And you created your own reality. You created your own reality by manifesting this into your life. You put that energy out like to message me, and that made me respond. And then now you have this, and I feel like that could be taken down deep to any level. I've heard so many stories about like people meeting Oprah that just really desperately wanted to meet Oprah, or something like that, or even just changing their lives. It's just how much energy are you willing to put into that, and how much negative energy are you willing to overcome to get that? Like, you could have let me not responding for a minute completely destroy you, and not even, you could even stop doing videos, or you could be like, all right, well, I don't want to do this video anymore. He left me hanging for 3 days. But instead, when I reached back out, it was bam, bam, because we kept that good energy flowing, and you wanted to manifest this.
Yeah, man. And it goes back to like how you were speaking earlier about those failures. Is those, to me, I've started really liking to fail, because I feel like each and every single failure just brings on that lesson. And we even had a episode before we said change those L's, but make it mean a lesson. It's not a loss, it's a lesson, man. You took an L. What did you really take out of that? And I was like, yeah, that's right. And I know my friend Shelton, he had said something really, really smart. He has way with words. But we were all just sitting here thinking about, like, yeah, let's take these lessons, because whether you win or lose, there's still always a lesson. And if you fail to take that lesson when you win, you definitely deserve that loss.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've ever seen this book, but this book helped me a lot. It's called Unfuck Yourself.
I think I bought that for my sister for Christmas this year.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I just randomly will open up to a page, and like this one, it says, it's only true if you agree. Bam. I could go into a story about that. If you really, it's your own opinion is what's true to you in the end.
Yeah.
Facts are different.
Man, I'm going to have to buy it for myself and try to read through it. I did recently just get a book that I first got to get through. That's another thing, and if it wasn't for me starting Communities Connected, I wouldn't be trying to work with myself. One thing I do, and I've always told everybody, is I hate reading. Just because, I don't know, I get bored. I'd rather either hear it, watch it, but when I read, it just gets too silent, I'll fall asleep. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't be working on doing it. So having people around you like me said, hey, check this one out. I've heard about it. You said it's a good book. Because I like talking to you, I like the person you are, I'm going to check it out. It's an influence. Whether I'm going to go to audio or actually try to read, that's a positive thing. So I will get there to it. I promise you that.
Awesome.
Okay. I want to create a... Have you done any collabs right now? Like with other DJs? Has you been?
Yeah, I've done a few collabs. I did a collab with a duo from North Carolina. They're called Famous. It's called No Contest. That's on all platforms. I have collabed with my brother, High Life, as well.
So
we
your
made a
brother's
few
also doing music?
Yeah, my brother, he's 26. He's going into school to own a business, which would be a recording studio, and they would hold mix master sessions and also lessons. And I'm obviously gonna stick up a spot in there, so Super Dad's studio is gonna be in his studio.
Hey.
And he's just really trying to go the professional route. He's in like his third year of school already, and has like 6 more. He's crazy stuff. I have no clue, but we make some pretty awesome music together. We made a song called Propaganda. It's all just about weed, honestly, and the negative things about weed. And then we have one called Space Life. We presented that track because I just felt like it took us to space. Pretty cool cover for it. I make a lot of my own covers, to be honest.
Really?
A lot of them.
Are you using like Photoshop, or how do you go about doing those?
I use Photoshop. Yeah.
Okay.
I just get some like vectors and mix them together and create my own image.
Yeah, that's something I'm slowly trying to work on, because again, you do have to keep investing in yourself, and a goal of mine is to get Photoshop. When I do my photo edits, like the one I sent you, I ended up finding this website called Photopea, and it's a live server where someone created a Photoshop program, and you can do a lot of work, but you can't like save the project and come back to it. Once you save it, it's a finished product. So it's like, well, I better get to it and get it done. So I'm like, at least I'm getting these lessons, so when I go to Photoshop, I have more than nothing, you know?
Okay. Yeah, Photoshop's a pretty nice one. There's a couple more though. I think there's a free one called GIMP you could download.
I tried that one. I couldn't get the hang of that one.
Yeah, I can't either. I just gave up. I was like, nope.
Dude, that one was so difficult. I tried GIMP and I can't remember the other one. Because right now, to make my videos, I'm using... Boy, what is this called? Resolve. DaVinci Resolve. That's what it's called.
Okay.
It's decent. I like it.
I definitely have a couple more things I'd like to say to some people that follow us. And then I'm going to definitely have to get going because I just realized that it's 7:10 and my kids have not eaten yet, so I got to feed them.
I do not mean to hold you up.
No, you're not holding me up at all, man. Not at all. So the couple things I wanted to say is that I truly feel with your page is something that came to my mind with the communities connected. I really like this drug epidemic kills me. I hear about someone dying every single day, and I'm desperately sick of it. And if anybody has ideas of the great way, like that is not violent, to exactly like you were telling me, there's programs that I can go to help others that are going through it. Definitely going to check that out and go do that. But like, what are some ways as a community we can come together and really win the battle to where we're not losing a friend every day to drugs, and especially like bunk drugs. Seems like it's the biggest, truly the biggest killer is drugs not being what they are.
Yeah.
You know that? Like, even I heard today about Mac Miller, like the person who sold him stuff is getting charged with his murder, I think.
Yeah, because it was something that it wasn't even supposed to be what it was. I actually clicked on the article right before you hopped on, so I'm glad you brought that up. And that's another thing I want to do, and that's why I've had 3 of the interviews that I did is there is those problems, and I want to find a positive way that we can attack certain problems. I was telling you before we hopped on live, I want to stay to current events, but I don't want to be a news event, like a news channel. I want to, find an active way, so that's why I brought those people that were in it. I'm really glad. I should give him a shout out. Kurt runs this page called Battle Caps. If you get a chance, check it out, Battle Caps. So what he does is he ended up running problems with the law, ended up in jail. While he was in jail, got some time to think, and he found a love for crocheting. In the jail he was at, they were sending these crocheted hats out to people, and he ended up getting an award for making over 1,000 hats, getting them shipped out. Once he got out, he was like, man, this is actually something that can help me, and he's realized he enjoys doing it. So what he started doing is crocheting hats and create a page where if you are a person or know someone who's going through any form of cancer, send him a message, and his group will knit hats and send out free care packages to those people, because he understands and he's had history with his family, people going through cancer, and saw what they had to go through. He's like, I just want to make sure people are comfortable. And he started that off from making one for his sister-in-law, and after she luckily got through it, she was telling him that the blanket he had made her was actually one of the best things, because they gave her stuff for like her seatbelt. She was saying after going through the treatment, her skin was just really sore and everything, and so they gave her pads to put on the seatbelt, and she's like, that still bothered her, but using that blanket made a world difference. And he was like, well, if I can help this one person, my sister-in-law, he found a way to make it for more people, and he's gotten messages from across the world, man. And I was like, I need to get you in Communities Connected, because this is something that people need to know about. There's a lot of kind-hearted people, and there's people that need that don't know it's available.
Yeah, man, I just checked it out. I liked it. I really dig that whole idea, and that everything goes back to exactly what we've been talking about throughout the whole interview. Just about is that it's just about putting that energy out there.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Think of all those people's lives that he's helped change just because of making those blankets or the hats and like the battle caps. That's I really support that.
Yeah, I did. As soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, to be able to do that is just wild, but it's a positive thing, and I loved it from the get-go. And I was like, I need to find a way to get this message out. I can share the page, but let's get Kurt talking about the page. And it was just a really phenomenal thing and an awesome person to meet. He and I still talk, so yes, taking those leap of faith is one thing you always were talking about. Real quick, before I ask you the next question, I got two last ones. I still want to play that track that you said. So,
okay.
Is there one last shout out you want to do? People know, so you can get to attending your kids.
Yes. So one thing that I wanted to say is, kind of before DJ and stuff, I worked hospitality for a lot of these events, especially Detroit Rave Scenes events, and the Catalina Bass Mixer is the last one. And it's kind of cool seeing my name go from staff to Brandon to production manager for Meltdown, where Subtronics signs my stuff, stage manager, and then bam, the Catalina Bass Mixer has my artist name.
Right.
Like, it just shows, like, involve yourself around what you want to be around, and eventually it will grow into what you truly want it. No, I don't necessarily want to go get someone water. No. But the fact of, making, you can take that position and make a DJ's life, their life way better. So that's really my biggest shout out is to all the people that have believed in me before I believed in me.
Well, that is, like you said before about something beautiful, dude. There's no better way to say that. I'm glad you showed your passes and the progress. That is awesome that you have that memorabilia. And I think that is something people need to see, is it's going to take a while, but once you get it, you're going to see that struggle was 100% worth it, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. I mean, for instance, I went from, I think it was less than 6 months ago, I hit 1,000 likes on Facebook. And then just last week, on my birthday, I hit 7,000.
Damn.
It took me longer to get 1,000 than it took me to get 6.
Yeah.
So it just shows once you put that hard work in, eventually it starts to roll in waves.
That grind will
You just
pay
got to
off.
survive through that wave coming back into the ocean to come back over. You got to survive that part, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's a drought for a little while, and then bam, the wave crashes back down of happiness and glory.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's exactly it. And like I said, I'm glad I get to hear from you because that also motivates me to keep doing these videos. You telling me that you've been excited all day. I didn't know I could ever excite someone who's already doing big things. And here I am thinking I'm a smaller thing, but to get this type of support, bro, seriously, thank you for doing this interview. I'm glad you took time. Yeah, I can't thank you enough, bro.
No problem, dude, and thank you for having me. That song that you're about to play is, I label it as Coming for Your Throat because I just put a bunch of anger into that one. But I don't know what the end name's going to be because I'm still having my, an artist I know he lives in L.A. right now. His name's Austin Rudin. He's a rapper. He's adding some vocals over top of this, so I'll know the name after that, to be honest. But I just wanted to show you guys something no one has heard before.
All right, deal. Well, that being said, again, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching and joining us in today's conversation. And we're going to leave you guys with this song by Superdad.
Bye, I love you guys.
All right, it should be playing, and I think I took everything off so they can't hear us.